really? You're the Wanda. She's the walkabout. Hey, I'm Lauren. How are you? Really nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Thanks for the introduction. Did you meet the folks from the Yeah. Hi there. No. So this is Wanda, the neighbor that suggested this to us.
Nice to meet you.
And Bob, hi, Lauren. So nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you. I know you're friends with Dorothy.
So there's we'll do sets. We'll do the sets first. And that's the sets first.
Okay.
And then we'll go into Veolia and we'll do this one.
Great.
Over here. So
You want
we're
us to stand up here, Doug, or?
yeah. How about hey Meredith? Yeah, we'd like you up here, Meredith. Yes, all the council members, especially with the Broncos shirt on.
I know, right? It's pretty close to the
Hey, Mary. Good morning, everyone. Hear me in the back? Okay. Andy, you can hear me back there? That's great. Thank you all for coming today. Today is a very unique day in the city of Boise. I've been Director of Parks and Recreation. My name is Doug Holloway. I've been here for 13 years as the director. I spent another 11 years as Superintendent of Recreation. So my 24 years here, I've never seen a day quite like today. We've had great land purchases during my tenure. We've had great donations that have occurred for land during my tenure. But never have we had two of those that we're going to announce on the same day that are going to go to the City Council for consideration on Tuesday. And today is that day. The other uniqueness to this is pretty cool, that one of these conveyances that we're referring to it is coming from a local utility in town, Veolia Water, which we've been working with for several months on a piece of property in an area that we have a 10-minute walk desert. So as many of you are aware, we have an initiative where we want a park, open space, a pathway or pathway connection within a 10-minute walk of every household within the city of Boise. And we identified an area in West Boise where we had that, have that desert, in addition to some other locations, and just happened to be owned by Veolia Water. And so we began working with them, and eventually a deal got worked out. And at the same time, a very good friend of the city, Andy Erstead. Andy is in the back of the room. I know he doesn't want to be recognized, but I'm going to recognize him. I got a text from Andy back in June, and he sent me a text and said that he had an acquaintance of his, a good friend of his, that owned some property in the foothills that was interested in donating that property to the city of Boise. And fast forward 5 more months, and we've got a deal with the Satz family for a very large donation in the foothills that the mayor is going to talk about here in a moment. So again, in 24 years I've been with the city, we've never had two great things like this happen on the same day. So this is really historic in my opinion. I hope there's many of these, Mayor, in the future, but today is one that we really want to celebrate. So it's my honor to, one of the last times, introduce the mayor of our great city, Mayor Lauren McLean. And I say one of the last times because I'm retiring in another week from today, actually, Halloween. I'm not sure why I picked that day.
It's a fun day.
Fun day, scary day. But anyway, but this is a great way to go out, and with a day like today. So I'd like to introduce the mayor of our great city, who's going to make this announcement for us, Mayor Lauren McLean.
Well, thanks, Doug. This is a special day. And we're first going to talk about the two different properties separately because we've got council members also that are going to make some remarks. But I want to thank everybody, first off, that helped make this possible. I would say that this, while it is unique in the fact that we're talking about two different property acquisitions today, one in the foothills and one up on the bench, it's very much what Boiseans do. And the impact and legacy that we have as a community of residents and individuals saying, yes, we want to pay for investments in parks, pathways, and open space, and then community members saying, yes, we want to help you and make those dollars go even further, is so evident this morning with this announcement. And so first I want to thank our council members who are here with us. We've got Jordan Morales, Council President Colin Nash, Kathy Corliss, and Council President Pro Tem Meredith Stead that will be considering these properties and that share my commitment, the city's commitment, to open space and parks preservation. And we are all so excited to be able to be advancing our goal of making sure that every kiddo in the city can walk safely to a park within 10 minutes. And we are so proud of and excited about the impact and effect that the good work of our Parks Department, the Foothills Committee, the Parks Commission, and the city in general have had in terms of stewarding open space dollars and leveraging those investments because of people like the Satz family that are helping us acquire and open even more open space to Boise residents. So I'm so excited to share our first announcement, and I want to thank Greg Satz, who's in the back of the room, and his entire family for entrusting the city with this really beautiful piece of acreage that all of us know well, that you drive by on your way out to the Barber Valley in a super popular part of the foothills. And so I'm going to show you what it is. I'm going to take this off now. Was it a little too short for this? 44 acres next to the Table Rock Reserve. This is, from a driver's perspective, we're down here, but this is just across from the Warm Springs Golf Course and adjacent to the Table Rock Preserve. And I think that it's, especially as our community is having yet another conversation about the value of investing in open space, parks, and pathways, it's just so fitting that the Satz family has said we want to be a part of this this October. And so I want to thank everybody that had a hand in this gift, and I really look forward to council considering this on Tuesday. And with that is council, on what?
We'll see.
We'll see? This is why Colin was not invited to speak today. With that, am I handing it over to Council President Pro Tem Meredith Stead?
Okay, amazing. Thank you. As council members, we have to make some really difficult decisions. Ones that require balancing priorities and budgets and competing needs, but I can tell you that anytime we have the opportunity to approve land acquisitions for parks and open space, it's one of the easiest decisions that we get to make, and also the most rewarding. When we have the opportunity to preserve land for the community, it's not just about protecting a place, it's about investing in the future of Boise. The access to parks, trails, and open space is vitally important to a high quality of life. These are the places where neighbors meet, families gather, and kids discover a love for the outdoors. They're truly one of the only places that are free opportunities for families and individuals and that we can all share together. Places that belong to everyone regardless of who they are or where they come from. Today we're celebrating these two additions to our city's system. And I want to thank you all for being part of this celebration and for everybody who made it possible. Your commitment helps ensure that Boise remains the kind of place where people can step outside, breathe deeply, and feel connected to nature and to one another. I think that's
it. I do want to recognize Lisa Duplessis. She is our Foothills and Open Space Superintendent. She's gotten to be very good friends with Greg Satz. I think they communicate on a daily basis to get this deal done. And appreciate, Lisa, all your work on that. And again, Andy, I can't thank you enough for bringing us together. And again, this is what the mayor kind of alluded to. This is what relationship building is about in our city and our community, right? So the fact Andy had a relationship with our department and with the city, he thought of us in talking to Greg about land that he was thinking about donating. And Andy said, I got an idea for you, and I know where we can get this done. And so, again, just really appreciate bringing us together and making this happen. I want to recognize a couple of our commission members, Alicia Casarino here and Angie Johnson. Okay, so on to the other piece we have today. And again, we have representatives from Veolia Water here with us. We also have Wanda and Bob, who actually submitted a petition to both our department and to the mayor, asking that we consider this piece of property that our broker had brought to us that was on the market. And we had an interest in it because obviously it was in one of our 10-minute walk deserts. I think we will get close to roughly 200 households will be added to the 10-minute walk with the purchase of this land, if approved. And I say purchase, it is actually a conveyance. We were working with Veolia Water on an easement at another location, and it just worked out that they said, well, if you're interested in this property, you're being kind of with our company in working on this easement, we would convey the property to you at no cost. So it was $155,000 when it was on the market at no cost to the city, which is amazing. And so thank you guys for doing that for us. Sarah Arkle, who will be your new director of Parks and Recreation starting a week from Sunday, something like that. I know it's a weird time to start, Sarah, but she worked with Veolia on this deal. And also, Mayor's Chief of Staff, Courtney Washburn, had a big hand in this as well, working with the company and bringing this all together to make it happen. So thanks to everybody who made it work. These deals are never real easy, and we were chatting earlier, like, if all your deals came together like that, wouldn't that be cool? They don't, unfortunately, but this one did. So thank you all so much. And again, Mayor, I'd like to introduce the mayor to talk a little bit more about it.
Thanks, Doug. All right. Oh, are there two?
So there's a map and a map of the 10-minute walk and then a map of the location.
Oh, great. Okay. All right. This one I think is just such a fun announcement. I do want to thank Veolia. And I want to thank Wanda and Bob. We did get that petition. And before I talk a little bit about this, I'll say I decided to go visit the site because I was so intrigued by the fact that we got a petition from folks that wanted us to look at a piece of property that was available. It's kind of hard to find. It was a little hidden, but these pocket parks, as we're looking at now around the community, are really, really special. And because my team said this helps us expand our goal of making sure that every kiddo can walk to a park within 10 minutes. So Wanda told me today she saw us. I think you said you were using your bird binoculars. Which is funny that you use binoculars because I was pretty much like on your back porch. Because you go into this space and it's a teeny tiny park. But it will be so lovely, and I hope that when it is a park that the sounds of kids joyfully playing and then yelling at each other and then joyfully playing, just like are really special. We have that in our backyard with the school and I love it. And so I hope that you and your other neighbors that are around the border of what will be this park enjoy it as much as I imagine that you will. And I want to thank Veolia because after I actually met with, at the Conference of Mayors this year, met with their global CEO, their North American CEO, and some other folks. And we talked about partnership and water quality and water renewal and some different projects that we need to see happen. And then I said, now I want to talk to you about a park. Which was such a different conversation to have, and then the local team that helped us figure out how to make this happen. This is happening because of that. And it's small, but I want to say that it does connect kids in the neighborhood, but also will eventually easily connect to other parks and areas like the Grace Jordan Community Center. And when I say connect, I mean it's going to be easy and safe for kids and parents and everybody in between to be able to walk through the neighborhoods to this place, over to Grace Jordan and other places. So I want to thank you for driving the initiative, for your Veolia for the conveyance. And I think now I'm going to give everybody a sense of where this teeny tiny secret place is. It's going to be lovely for all of us. And then the council member from the district, Kathy Corliss, has some remarks.
So which one is the map? 10-minute? This one's a 10-minute? No. Okay.
Okay.
So let's do this one first.
Okay.
And then we can do the 10-minute walk.
So here is the park site. And then this is an interesting entrance to a park. And then once you're in this space, it's so cozy with neighbors. lots of trees that are on the neighbor's property, but I can just imagine the space that this creates for folks within that 10-minute walk to come and just have a little outside time, and parents being able to let their kids just run over if they need a little bit more space or they need to see people when they can't do that in their own backyards. And should we? Go ahead.
Sure. I was just going to say this is Bob and Wanda's house right here. So
she witnessed me walking around here trying to figure out how. But yes.
But I walked out here with the mayor when she went out to visit the site, and so you probably saw me in your binoculars too. And she took one look at it, and my first thought was, gosh, this is small and a lot of houses around here. I wonder if all these folks would really like to see a park right here. The mayor took one look at it and goes, this will work. She goes, this would be a great gathering space, and she was intrigued with this because this is an access point into the park, where a lot of our parks, you have to kind of weave through neighborhoods. This one, you pull right up here, you walk right up here, and you're in the park. And so the concern we had was alleviated when Wanda submitted a petition and said, well, I've got all these people signing off on this. And so that made it doable in our eyes that this really is something to bring forward, and pleased to be able to do that. So. Again, thank you, folks. So, Mayor, and this is our 10-minute walk map.
What does this bring us to now? Every acquisition that we make for a park site is driven by the heat mapping we've done, because we've got about 75% of Boiseans that can walk safely to a park within 10 minutes or a property once it's developed. And so we know where they can't. And that does guide the investments that we make. In this case, we didn't have to invest money, but we're able to further our goal, and that means that we'll have more resources to further our goal in another place. And so if people want to look afterwards, you'll be able to see everybody that can walk within 10 minutes now to this future park site.
Great.
Council member.
All right. Well, good afternoon. I'm very excited to be here today. I've had the great pleasure of meeting Bob and Wanda Furman at one of my town halls at I believe it was the Hillcrest Library, and they had brought this to my attention that there's this piece of property here. They think it would just be a wonderful addition as a park, and I couldn't agree with them more. I'm so happy for the petition you started, because this really is community in action. We have people who are saying this is a great idea. And they're sharing that idea with the city, with the parks and the mayor, and with their council member. And then we're working with our community partners. And I'm so thankful for Veolia being able to convey this property to us. And for Sarah Arkle, our incoming parks director, for making this happen and gluing all the pieces together to make this a terrific pocket park for our kids. I can see if we had a couple benches, people picnicking there, taking their dogs there, and getting to enjoy the neighborhood in which they live. So thank you very much, Veolia, and thank you, Bob and Wanda, for bringing this to our attention. Miss Wanda, thank you. I appreciate it.
And I believe that concludes our event for the day. Again, thank you all for coming. Greg, Andy, Veolia, Bob, Wanda, thank you all so much for making this happen. A very special day today. We appreciate it, and looking forward to seeing trails up in the foothills and seeing those picnic tables and play area possibly at our new park on Humble Drive. So thank you all. We appreciate it. Thank you. Sure. Yeah.
Let's make sure we don't lose.
But mine are up.